There are 4 series that I'm not reading in Weekly Shonen Jump out of the 19, well, 18 now that Ayakashi Triangle was moved over to Jump Plus. And to be honest, despite what a lot of people are saying, I think Weekly Shonen Jump is great. My Hero looks like it's coming to an epic conclusion. Blue Box is just as adorable as it was when it first started. High School Family has entered into its 2nd year and it's just as funny as it was the first week I read it. I started reading Jump last summer and since then I've read over 1,000 chapters across 20 different series. The 4 I'm about to talk about aren't necessarily bad, but everything I'm about to say is pretty negative since they are the reasons why I've stopped reading them. And the first is Me and Roboco. I find Roboco very annoying. She's useless at the best of times and an overall inconvenience. The reoccurring gags aren't particularly humorous and have no room to be expanded upon, resulting in them becoming overused and stale. And despite only being 15 pages, the episodic chapters aren't all that interested and feel kind of dragged out. I enjoy gag manga as much as the next person and I understand their place within the magazine. This one just doesn't do it for me really. I don't really know how well it's received in Japan, but I can imagine it's more targeted towards a much younger audience. The same can be said for Protect Me Shugomaru, though it's not episodic. Again, I find the main character Shugomaru very annoying and pretty boring. He's not particularly great at his job and more of a hindrance than anything. And having Sanagi's goal in life to find a boyfriend is pretty shallow. Didn't really leave a good first impression. It's also not the best looking, at least Roboco looks pretty good. I do, however, like it when Shugomaru makes Yu-Gi-Oh references, being a Yu-Gi-Oh player myself. Now, I actually really liked Witch Watch when it first came out. It was funny, the facial expressions were crazy, the use of magic was interesting, and a little bit of romance was sprinkled in. I was starting to lose interest until it entered a much longer arc. The first when Keigo became more integral to the story with the Warlock, and then a second time when Miharu was introduced. It has gone back to be a little bit more episodic, and lately the dialogue has become very dense. And I can't remember if it was this heavy initially, or I was just enjoying it so much that it didn't feel like I was reading that much. But now I'm struggling to get past the 4th page. And at which point I end up just skipping completely and going to something more interesting like Sakamoto Days. Now, these 3 I've stopped reading for quite some time. I think I'm around 7 or 8 plus chapters behind on all of them. But there is one more that I'm currently not reading, and that's Black Clover. And that's because I've not actually started. 300 plus chapters is just so much right now. I did start watching the anime in the summer, but I got to maybe episode 30. Some fire dude came about and I don't know, I just kind of dropped off at that point. I heard it's very, very good. It's like the new Naruto, though I thought Boruto was supposed to be the new Naruto. But I will get around to reading Black Clover, just maybe when I'm 60% of the way through my own manga collection. So maybe in 6 months or so. The great thing about manga is that every series appeals to a different person, and I don't think any particular series in Weekly Shonen Jump is so bad that I wouldn't recommend it, even the ones I've mentioned today. They're just not for me, and maybe I'm comparing them to previous series that I've read of the same genre. Personally, I think Weekly Shonen Jump is doing great. I'm reading 75% of it, and easily 60% of it is probably the most fun I've had reading Shonen Jump in 10 years of reading. A lot of them are recently just getting their physical releases, which is really exciting. Sakamoto Days, Elusive Samurai, and yeah, hopefully a lot more come along the way. That's pretty much it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you next time.